Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? Had to go, uh-oh. Anyways, let us discuss Monday Night Raw, shall we? It was quite the show. Yes. A lot of people on the show doing what they do best. I will say this Raw was a little bit more calm, but it did what it needed to set up another match heading into SummerSlam. However, there was some weird bullshit going on with Monday Night Raw, and I am sorry, but somebody's got to call a spade, and it was just fucking weird. Let's start off with the parts that wasn't weird, okay? Roman Reigns came out there at the end of the show. So let's work our way backwards, shall we? Roman came out, but it was after Paulina and his two, goons came out there because Paul thought he was very protected to say whatever he wanted to say, seeing as how he was flanked by Thing 1 and Big 2, okay? Now, as he began to say he had a lot of things to get off his chest, Roman came out there and it took him about 4 minutes to come out there. And then he finally gets in the ring, and then Paulina basically abandons the opportunity to tell everyone how he really truly feels about Roman Reigns and everything that he's done. He abandoned that all the way completely and just threw Seth Rollins' ass in the back like he never existed and was like, hey, friend, family, listen, you remember how we were like really close and like I liked you and like you liked me and like we were like really good for each other. Do you remember? I know you remember. Like, I know that you remember. We had a thing. We were good for each other. I know you remember the good times that we've shared. I know you remember, right? Right? No? Okay. Well, I just want to tell you that I feel like we can rekindle where things left off. We don't have to keep everything so nasty, right? We can move forward in this mess and, we can make this new faction that I've built into something amazing. We can bring back a new and refreshed bloodline. We can start it all over again. What do you say? What do you say? And Roman just stood there and was like, what the fuck? The fuck is you talking about? Like, he said, listen, your ass is out here popping off at the mouth talking about you want to rebuild what we lost. Okay? Hold tight. You talking about rebuilding and making things new. He said, listen, you can't rebuild family. You can't do that. The bloodline was what it is called. We were family by blood. We were locked in by blood. He said, you didn't make me. I'm still the OTC. I'm still the tribal chief because these people still acknowledge me as so. That's what makes me the tribal chief. He said, and you also didn't help me keep my championship. Oh, no, no, no. Because, see, you ain't got the skill nor the body to be able to do that. You didn't do any of that. That was the Usos. Okay? Okay, that was Solo. Okay? Hell, even Sami was doing it. Okay? That's who kept me on top. That's who was holding me down. Right? And you say, you know why it really sucks? Why it really pisses me off? Is because you did all of this for a best friend? For somebody you hadn't talked to in over a decade? Somebody you hadn't been cool with in over a decade? And I brought you into my family. You started out as somebody who was just a business partner. You was somebody that I rode with to make sure we got everything off like we should have. And then I brought you into my family. You became a part of my family. And then you betrayed me. So nah. We not even gonna fucking go here. I'm not even gonna dignify this with an answer. You have what you want. And that's where we gonna keep it. And of course, Brian Breaker was all in his feelings. Okay, Brian Breaker gets up and gets on the microphone. Oh, light the ass nigga. Get on the microphone talking about something. He'll never betray me the way he betrayed you. Fam. Clearly, you have not been paying attention. You have not been paying attention to the tally, honey. Paul Heyman has had a many of clients. From Brock Lesnar to even your infamous Stone Cold Steve Austin. And every single one of them, he either weaseled out of being their guy, their manager, or he betrayed them. There is no middle ground. He usually leaves the relationship abruptly. He did it to CM Punk. He did it to him too. He did it to Brock Lesnar for Roman Reigns. So how can you look at the facts, right? We're looking at this as a whole conglomerate, not just in one instance. You're looking at it from the perspective of he'll never do me the way he did Roman. How can you say that when he's done it to his predecessors over and over and over and over again? You got to be a damn fool to watch a man complete the same action over and over and over again and think, with me, it's going to be a different result. That is the definition of insanity, love. That's just stupid. You put yourself in harm's way? You would do that? Trusting in somebody or anybody in WWE fully with your whole chest is motherfucking crazy. Because everybody in the E is out for themselves. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. Because they would give their right arm to have Roman's position right now. And so would you. So don't be no fool, baby. Don't put all your trust in one man. You don't do that. Okay? You don't do that. Don't be no damn fool, baby. Now, after he got done with his little lightning ass speech, Roman was like, bitch, I ain't hear nothing you said. He was like, maybe you need a better microphone to say it in, because it didn't come in clear with me. Did it come in clear with y'all? No? Okay, well, here go your mic. Then he socked that nigga in his mouth. Let me tell y'all something. Roman hit Brian Breaker so hard that even after Brian hit him with the spear, he was still holding his mouth from getting hit in the mouth by Roman. Yeah. That's how you know you a glass jaw type of nigga. Like you get your ass whooped just for a little love tap, sir. Get it together, sir. Okay. it was a lot going on. But ultimately, towards the end of that bout, towards the end of that fight, Jey Uso ended up coming out there for the save, and they stood on business once again. Now, I don't know why they ain't made this tag team match for SummerSlam yet, but they definitely need to. Okay? Because, honey, listen, Roman is back for now until he leaves again to go film for Street Fighter, because that's coming. They start filming in August. Yeah, they start filming in August. And my assumption is this: Roman is going to be on Raw for the time being, right? And we know that they don't like to keep married couples, split up. So my assumption is that in the very near future, Jimmy Uso will also make his way back to Monday Night Raw as well, which will culminate the reigniting of the Usos possibly getting back together. Doesn't mean that they're going to go after the championships, but Jay is going to need some backup after Roman leaves, because Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker are going to make that man a target. And while Sami is cool, he is in the middle of quite the fight of his life. Speaking of Samuel, okay, listen, I love Sami Zayn. He is my favorite. He is one of my favorite guys. I love him down. Okay, I got Sami back all day long. So I hate that Sami has to be the one to get his ass kicked in this fight with Karrion Kross. Now, outside of kayfabe, I'm just going to tell y'all straight up. Outside of kayfabe, I'm happy that Karrion is finally getting on television and being seen. I'm happy for him. But Karrion is operating the very same way that, let's put it into perspective so some people can understand. Karrion is operating the way that the Joker operated in The Dark Knight. If you ever seen Dark Knight, then you understand exactly what I'm saying. In Dark Knight, Joker was trying to prove that Batman was just as villainous and evil as he is. So he incessantly put him in scenarios where he would prove that he's not as I guess you could say human. He doesn't care about human life as much as he thought he did. And all he had to do was put him in the right situation at the right time, and boom, it's proven. Like, you can be just as diabolical and cruel as I am. But he had to create those scenarios in order for Batman to show and prove the way that Joker wanted him to. Ultimately, he never did. Batman still didn't play into Joker's game, at least not all the way. In this instance, however, Sami is being beaten down. And if you think about how life beats you down, you've got two options. You either continue to allow life to beat you down, or you fight back. Now, Sami's trying to fight back in the right way, but Karrion is doing it in the most underhanded way on purpose to prove that Sami is a liar and that he's not a good guy, but that he is indeed a bad guy, because he's going to take matters into his own hands and do something dastardly, which will then prove that, oh, Karrion Kross isn't a liar, because look at what Sami Zayn did. However, the whole point is to push Sami Zayn into a place or into a situation where he's backed into a corner and he has no choice but to respond the way that Karrion is goading him into. Are we clear on how this is working? Is everybody seeing what I'm seeing, or are you just watching to be watching? With that being said, this is the third, count of maybe fourth week, I guess you could say, that Sami Zayn has been hit with a lead pipe and beaten down. He lost this match to Karrion Kross, but what was really gross about this fucking match was the fact that Karrion's nose started bleeding, and he rubbed the blood all over his face, and then he kissed his wife, Scarlett, and she rubbed the blood in her face and licked it. I don't know about you, but that's nasty. That's fucking nasty. I don't give a damn how much. I love my husband, dirty draws. Okay, I do. I love him to death. I'm not licking that man's blood. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you got going on, what you talking about. I don't give a damn. Don't give a damn. Not licking no blood. Not doing it. Kiss my ass. If it's a matter of life and death, he just gonna be dead. I'm not doing that. Are you crazy? Like, ew. Ew, it was gross. It was so gross. I was about to throw up. Ugh. But he won. And of course, Sami is beaten up. I don't know what exactly they're going to do with this or how they're going to push this forward. But I would imagine that the next time Sami Zayn comes around, he also is going to have himself a lead pipe as well. At least I would. And the only thing I would admit is that, no, I'm not evil. I'm not mean. I'm just pissed off. And then I would beat the hell out of Karrion Kross. That doesn't mean that he's just like him. It just means that you pissed me off, so now I'm going to beat your ass. Welcome to the big time. Speaking of the big time, Becky, she seems to be in her feelings a lot. You know, she seems to be quite angry. You have to ask yourself, like, girl, what do you have to be angry about? Okay? You're Intercontinental Champion. And yet, here we are with you constantly finding ways to center yourself into other people's business all the flipping time. It is almost as if you cannot, you just can't exist without the world talking about you. And I don't understand. At some point, okay, at some point, you gotta let people do what they're doing. Okay, at some point, you gotta give people an opportunity to shine outside of you. You're not the only person in this world who has done historic and amazing things. You're not the only one, and you're not gonna be the last. Okay, but Becky came out there, and this was after we learned that not only was Lyra going to be facing off with Becky. This is the weird part of Raw today. She had a tag team match with Bayley, and Bayley was not. It seemed like Bayley was going to turn on Lyra in this match, but she never even got the chance to do so. They went on full on in this match together. They were actively wrestling, almost won the tag team titles together, and until like Dom got involved. Okay, they almost won. Okay, and it just seemed like it was just messy. Like, I don't understand what the logic was behind this match, and then you go from that to this. Okay, I didn't understand why you even set this match up to begin with. You could have had Lyra facing off against one of them in a match today, and then Becky got involved in that. But you didn't have to set up a tag team match with Bayley and then have the... I just don't understand what the logic was behind this. If you weren't going to give Bayley the title and let her go to go to SummerSlam, then what was the point? Because if I were them, I would have let them take the titles off of Raquel and Roxanne Perez. Absolutely. And I would have let them go to SummerSlam, and I would have had Bayley walk out on Lyra Valkyria in the middle of the match. And Charlotte and Bliss would have won, easy peasy lemon squeezy. They could then defend against Raquel and Roxanne again, because they deserve a title shot again, and then they could proceed forward and have those titles, taking them titles all throughout the three brands. Even pop up in TNA once or twice, which we'll get to TNA in a minute, child. Okay, I just didn't understand what the logic was behind this. I was very fucking confused. It just seemed like this match was created last minute. And then they had Bayley pretending and acting like she was all gun-ho for it. And I'm just like, bitch, what are you doing? What's going on? What is happening? Like, y'all was just beating the hell out of each other last week. And now you sitting up here trying to be my friend? Okay, girl. All right. Anyways. So... now, let's keep it moving. Because Becky, being the petty, ignorant bitch that she is, decided that she was going to give a ultimatum to Lyra. This is the last time that we're going to compete against each other, especially if I win. If I win, as long as I have this title, you can never challenge for the Intercontinental Championship again. Never, ever. Lyra said fine. She said fine. But you also have to admit, you also have to submit to no countouts, fall. What was it? No countouts, falls count anywhere. Is that what she said?
No count out, no disqualification.
No count out, no disqualification. So basically,
This is a street fight.
Yeah, it's like no holds barred. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I hate that they had a different names for the same shit.
They gotta be worried about it.
I hate it so much. But anyways, essentially, they have a match with no restrictions, and they can pretty much do whatever they want. And all Lyra did was take away Becky's champion's advantage. That way, Becky can't just hit Lyra with a belt and then retain her championship. She legitimately has to fight in order to keep it. So, the girls are going to be fighting, and that's that. They had the tag team match. They lost. And they lost because not only did Dominic Mysterio interfere, but so did Becky. Becky took out Lyra. There was no tag team partner for Bayley. Bayley tried to take on both Roxanne and Raquel, and it just wasn't happening. And she ended up suffering in the end. So I suspect that Bayley more than likely is going to cost Lyra that match at SummerSlam. And that's going to keep Lyra from being able to challenge for that title ever. And Bayley will be the one to be able to go up against Becky and possibly get the title off of her. Which will then go back to the revisit of Lyra and Bayley possibly battling it out again. So we're just in a vicious circle at this current point. But anyways, tag team titles. Surprisingly, LWO are the ones who are now the number one contenders for the WWE Tag Team Championships. And I, for one, am so happy. This was the one thing on Monday Night Raw that I was incredibly excited about. Because I just knew it was going to be the Creeds or it was going to be New Day again. Now, New Day was out there and Xavier Woods with his receding hairline was out there tripping. Okay? But ultimately, it was the interference of El Grande Americano that gave LWO the advantage. You see, he thought going out there and attacking Dragon Lee was going to take over and that was going to change the trajectory of the match and give the win to either New Day or the Creeds. But it didn't. Joaquin was able to get a roll-up pin on, I believe it was Kofi. And he got out of the ring in time, got that pin, and it was over. The LWO are the number one contenders, and the New Day are not. But here's where it got a little funky for them. Austin Theory is injured. So because he's injured, Grayson Waller has officially declared himself free of Austin Theory. He said he was 230 plus pounds of dead weight. That is what he referred to his former tag team partner as. And then he said, because the New Day realized that they, as a tag team on their own, they aren't going to get things done. You know, they need some insurance. They need a big bitch. And they don't have that anymore. But now they have Big G. Now they have Grayson Waller. He went and got there. Carter was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah, we're like, who told him that? Who told him that he could be in the New Day? I was like, y'all did. You know what? You know when you did it? When you had the bitch giving Adam Pearce wigs. That's when you did it. When you had him walking around with y'all and y'all was talking about giving him advice. This is your fault. And this is your problem. Enjoy it. My. Anyways, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I know for a fact it's going to be funny. Because when Austin Theory come back, he going to get the biggest pop. Especially if they make him a face. Ooh, Austin Theory going to be in there like swimwear. That mid-card division gonna pop off with Austin Theory getting to the helm of it. And Grayson, you probably gonna be left behind. Oh, Grayson. Oh my god. That's unfortunate for you. Oh my god. I feel so bad. Now, Rusev went up against Sheamus. Sheamus was able to finally best him, even though, Rusev did everything in his power to beat the man. And then we had an impromptu match that wasn't announced for the card, which was pretty big. They announced a pretty big card. We had Stephanie going up against Io Sky because Stephanie was like, the last time we got into a match, you and I didn't get to finish that match. And every time we get into it, somebody coming in there interrupting it. And Io was like, well, you know what? That's true. And Stephanie was like, if you make it past Naomi and Rhea, I'll see you in Paris. And Io was like, I look forward to it. But she said, because the last time you and I met, I had you down the rights. I had you, girl. And she was like, is that what you think? She was like, girl, I know it. She was like, okay, well, we can do it tonight. And Io was like, okay, Stephanie, how about we take our asses out there and do it in Houston? We go out there and we tear the house down. Stephanie was like, cool, I look forward to it. Now, prior to this, Naomi had her messy ass out there, and she was talking to Stephanie, and she was like, Stephanie, girl, I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Champion, girl. Stephanie was like, girl, I know who you are. Girl, I've seen you. Girl, I got you. And she was like, and I'm going to meet you at Clash in Paris. She was like, if you make it to Clash in Paris, I'll see you there. She was like, oh, so you trying to be funny. Okay, girl. She said, I'm going to beat Rhea Ripley. And I'm going to do what you can't do, which is beat Io Sky. And then I'm going to beat you at Clash in Paris. But she said, you know what, girl? If I was you, I would be more upset that, I basically got showed up when I showed up on Monday Night Raw. Because, girl, the last time Io was in the ring with you, she dog-walked your ass. But you know what? It could have been me, girl, because I would have went and tore her ass a new one. Okay, I'm not finna let that kind of shit slide. But that's just me. Then the heifer threw her hair in her face and started cackling and walked away, child. So Io and Stephanie had a banger of a match. But then the Secret her service came in there. Chelsea came in there. It was a lot going on. And Naomi came in there. Then Rhea came down and evened the odds. And the only people that was standing tall was Stephanie. What is this? Oh. It was Stephanie, Io, and Rhea that were standing tall. Chelsea and her Secret Her service and even Naomi were all laid out. Okay, they was all laid out dead to rights. Child, it was a whole lot of. Okay, but I tell you one thing. I tell you what. They did their thing. Okay. Now the last thing, and I hope I'm not missing anything. If I am, just put it in the comments and I'll cover it. The last thing we're going to cover is CM Punk. CM Punk was there for the first hour of the show. He was the one who set the tone for the show. Roman closed the show. Okay. So CM Punk was out there and essentially he came out there to say that he's, preparing for a beast in Gunther, sorry. And he said he thought about it and he was like, I'm not preparing because I've been preparing myself for this kind of fight my whole life. He said, I've always been ready and I'm always going to be ready because I'm the best in the world. But Gunther came out there and was like, you ain't never been the best in the world. You will never be the best in the world. That's just something you have to tell yourself because you're not good enough to be what you think you are. He said, I could tell you what you are. You're a mediocre white man. Now, he ain't called him no white man, but he did say he was mediocre. And he was like, you ain't really got much going for yourself. But you think very highly of yourself. And y'all have this thing of where if you think it, so shall it be. And it's just simply not true. All I'm going to do is at SummerSlam do what I always do. I'm going to expose you because you need these people, these degenerates, to chant your name. Because that's all you have. You don't have anything else. I'm going to go on and continue to be champion while you get to listen to the masses singing your name every day. Whereas I'm holding a belt that you've been craving for, what, 10 plus years? You're only going to be able to sit in the noise of these fans. And then he left. He didn't stick around. He didn't try to fight him. He didn't argue. He just left his ass there with his own thoughts. Which, baby, silence is sometimes worse than cussing somebody out. Okay? Sometimes that's 10 times worse, honey. It painful, baby. Now, I'm going to give y'all a few minutes because some of y'all don't really care about Slammiversary, and I fully understand that. But it is imperative that y'all listen to what I have to say, and I'm going to ask that you go to my video where I gave you a full review of Slammiversary and go and listen to it, because I have an idea of how this should play out, and I'm hoping and begging that it does play out that way. But I'll give y'all a few seconds if those of you who don't want to listen to me talk about Slammiversary, because this is all that happened on Monday Night Raw. There wasn't anything else that was going on for Monday Night Raw. This is it. Okay? It is a very slow burning show. Very slow burning. Okay? That's it. That's all. Dominic Mysterio was cleared. I mean, there's really nothing else to talk about when it comes to that. He was trying his best to, evade being going to the doctor. He finally went to the doctor. The doctor didn't want to even say that he was cleared. It was just weird. That was weird as well. And then all of a sudden, he goes and hits AJ Styles on the back. The match has been made. Like I said, the match has been made. They're going to SummerSlam. I always knew they were going to SummerSlam. So to me, that wasn't really much to talk about. But if you needed to hear it, there it goes. I'm going to give y'all a few seconds, and then we're going to talk about Slammiversary and in regards to NXT. Let me... So we're going to talk about Slammiversary because it's important, okay? I know some of y'all don't watch TNA, but you definitely should. Now, what I can tell you is TNA has a tier on their TNA Plus that you can watch their weekly episodic shows, and I think it's another tier that's a little bit cheaper than the original. I'm not 1000% sure, but I also know for a fact that they stream their shows to YouTube now. They live stream it every Thursday. You can watch the show live over on TNA's YouTube channel, which it used to be like that for the memberships for TNA, but now they're just streaming it live over there on TNA's YouTube channel. They don't stream the PLEs, they just stream the weekly episodic shows. Slammiversary was this past Sunday, and I'm going to tell you guys what you need to know about it and why this is particular plays very well into WWE and how this could actually play out. I did give you guys an idea of mine that I posted earlier today, which gave you the full rundown of Slammiversary, and I talked about where it should go from here on out and how I think this should lead into Survivor Series, okay? So I'm not going to give you guys a lot. Like, you can go back and listen to the video to go listen to the whole rundown. We're just going to talk about the parts that make sense to me as to how this could lead into Survivor Series. So we had this match. This match was set up between TNA and Fourth Rope. Okay, Fourth Rope is a new promotion by Westside Gun, rapper Westside Gun, and somebody else. They are the owners of this promotion, and currently Zilla Batu is the champion, and then you have Enzo Amore, and then you have Bishop over here on the end. Okay, so they won. Fourth Rope beat TNA. TNA did not get a lot of traction going in this show. The only time that they had a dominance or actually won was when the System beat Dark State. That was the only time. Any other match that had to do with WWE and TNA, they lost. TNA lost. Okay? Masha and JC. JC is a double champion now. Okay? This hoe is never going to shut up. We're going to never hear the end of it. I'm sure she more than likely is going to be the one to open the show on Tuesday. If not, it's going to be Trick Williams, because Trick Williams also retained his championship on Sunday. So now, not only does WWE have two, count them, two NXT superstars as either a champion or dual champion in TNA. TNA has not gotten any traction going for themselves against WWE talent. The only time they have is on NXT. Okay? Now listen. I'm all for a good setup. But I'm going to tell you some things about Slammiversary. I did include this in the previous video, but I just want to make sure you know. So at Bound for Glory, it's going to be Bubba Ray and Devon Dudley, Team 3D versus the Hardy Boys one last time. This is going to be their last go round. Don't ask me why. Bitch, I don't know. I didn't ask for this. I have no desire to watch Bubba Ray and Devon and the Hardy Boys go at it. Like, I've seen Devon in the ring. I'm pretty sure Devon don't want to wrestle. Like, I'm 1,000% sure that man doesn't want to wrestle. But do whatever makes you happy. You know, like, they at this point, y'all will gobble up and eat anything at this point. And at this, somebody's got to say no. Somebody has to say no. The Hardy Boys are now tag team champions once again, which in all honesty, I don't think that they should be. They should have either gave it to First Class or the Rascals and let them have it. Like, it's just so unnecessary in my opinion. But do whatever. AJ Styles showed up because Leon Slater is now the youngest X Division champion in history. Leon Slater is going to be the reset champion that the X Division needs to make sure they reinvigorate and revive this division to what it once was. And the division that AJ Styles built and upheld for years when he was in TNA. Okay? This, having AJ Styles show up and proverbially pass the torch to Leon Slater is an amazing thing. Moose also, decided that he's going to be stepping away for a little while, take a break to decide what he wants to do. The way I see it, you can retire, folk. Like, I don't need you around, but do whatever you got to make you happy. In this matchup, and in this entire show, it was very much built to give WWE the edge, and they now hold two of the biggest titles in this company's history on their shows. Their wrestlers are walking around with their titles, okay? That is a big no-no to me. Like, I can understand it for a few, matches or whatever, but when you come to a pay-per-view like Slammiversary and or Bound for Glory, at the end of the day, it should have been given back to those who own it, which is TNA guys, okay? But they didn't do that. They kept it this way. So the way I see it, TNA now got to go and start fucking people up. Okay? They got to start invading. And the way I spelled it out was they got to invade, but in order for you to make it a worthy storyline, you have former TNA guys having to have a dilemma as to decide whose side they're going to be on. So you got guys like AJ Styles, guys like Xavier Woods. You've got Booker T on commentary. Okay? You have so many former guys. Even CM Punk is a former TNA guy. He used to be in TNA too. You got Motor City Machine Guns back there. Okay? There's a lot of formers in WWE at this current time. I'm just saying, you got Jordan Grace sitting up there. That's a big working storyline within itself. Like, whose side are you going to be on? Are you going to be on WWE's side? Or are you going to take the side of TNA, your former glory? Okay? Then you have this angle where people are getting attacked backstage. That's how I wanted it set up. The people are getting attacked backstage. Nobody knows who it is. It should start either at SummerSlam or right after SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw. People need to start getting attacked. They need to be small people first. Just slowly but surely start attacking them. And then you keep building up. Ominous messages need to start popping up on the desks of each general manager. It needs to happen on every single show. We know for a fact the NXT parking lot is dangerous, okay? It is the ghetto, all right? That need to be the place where everybody in the parking lot that is an NXT guy or girl needs to get mollywopped. Every time. You either need to start sending messages digitally, or it needs to be old school, like fucking letters. Do something. Make it so that it's very ominous and very vague, so you really don't know who's doing it. The attacks also need to happen backstage with TNA. That way it doesn't look like it's TNA, but it is going to be TNA. Right before Survivor Series, you make the reveal that it is TNA. They have the invasion angle, and then you have them going back and forth, attacking each other. The top girls are going to Raw. The top guys are going to SmackDown. The top girls and guys are going to NXT. NXT shows up on TNA. Then you've got the top girls and guys from Raw and SmackDown showing up in TNA, dominating. And then we do War Games. We do War Games. We got champions versus champions, and then we do War Games. It's a simple fix. It makes it all worthwhile. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because not only do you have every single, like, your major titles are holding on to, these NXT guys are holding these major titles, but not only that, but not too long ago, Santino Marella almost lost his fucking job to a WWE manager, to Robert Stone, who was coming in wreaking havoc in his business. Like, not only that, but the TNA president was there to hand JC Jane the damn title, to give the title to Trick Williams, held his fucking arm up. If that ain't a just cause to invade and destroy everything that's going on right now, I don't know what is. I'm telling you that it needs to go down like that. You can have a real rivalry with Survivor Series this year and not make it some penny ante bullshit that we have to deal with every single year that y'all figure out or come up with. Nah, make it so that we can really sink our teeth in it. Make it worthwhile. Make it TNA versus WWE. You can use fourth rope people because they got to deal with fourth rope. You can use them in this feud. And not only does WWE got Evolve, but they also got NXT. We got more than enough people to make this shit rock. Come on now. This will work if it is done correctly. Now, Triple H, let me tell you something, Kratos. If your bald-headed ass take my damn idea and don't pay me for it, I'm going to beat your ass. If you take my idea and don't pay me for it, don't call me, don't fly me out nowhere, don't do nothing, you mad disrespectful. You mad disrespectful, bro. And Michael Cole, I heard you say that Paul Heyman was out there waddling down on the ramp. Y'all gonna put some respect on my name. I know that. Y'all gonna stop disrespecting me. Y'all gonna stop taking my shit and disrespecting me. That's what you gonna stop doing. Because y'all hateful. Triple H, don't you take my idea and then don't give me my credit for it. Don't you do it. Now, whether you was thinking about it or you had it mulled over in your mind, I don't give a damn. I'm the one who putting it out in the atmosphere. I'm the one who's talking about it. Okay? Give me my flowers. Girl. Ooh, I'm going to be upset. I'm like, would be mad as hell. Listen, I'm be cussing folks out. Do you hear me? Ooh, child. My bike hurt now, child. Hold on. Let me get this one last. Oh, my back. Shit. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's all. We ain't really got much else going on. Okay? Some of y'all have probably been wondering, like, where is Pat? Why isn't Pat on commentary? Why is Corey on commentary? Pat decided to take a sabbatical away from WWE. He felt like he was being burnt out, and I fully understand exactly what he's talking about. Pat is being stretched very, very thin. Not only does Pat have to do WWE, but he also works for ESPN doing college and regular professional football, and those take a lot out of him. And not only that, but Pat also works and does commentary for just about everything that they talk about that's sports related. Women's basketball, men's basketball, you name it, he's talking about it. Okay, and because he has that block where he sits and has about a 2 to 3 hour block that he has on his show, he's definitely gonna be someone who could honestly be burnt out from having to do so much work and being spread so thin. So Pat decided that the best thing to do would be to take time away from WWE for himself and possibly, wait till the season is over with football, regroup, and then come back, which is more than likely what he'll do. I think Pat will show back up for WrestleMania. I don't think he'll miss WrestleMania for the world. But I can understand why he feels burnt out, because, man, WWE ain't for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? That is a hard job to do. Commentary is not easy, with people yelling in your ear to say certain things, being able to be on cue, call the match like you see it. And Pat doesn't have to do everything that Corey and Michael does. They let Pat just go off the cuff and do whatever. But it was the incessant traveling to each city, leaving where he was, having to go there. And, Pat has a wife, he has kids, he has a family. So we'll see Pat when we see him. But, y'all, I'm telling y'all, this invasion angle, I'm telling you, it's tea. It's tea, y'all. Hell no. Kayla said she thought AJ had a tracking device on Dom because he always found a way to be where Dom was. And then Leah said he's not hard to find. Just follow the scent of Axe body spray. That's funny. Sounds like TNA needs to have a mutiny. They need to do something. I see your little callback to 2K, which is stupid ass. I'm glad you like my idea, Quan. So, listen, I'm finna get up out of here. Y'all make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. And go listen to my video on the full recap of Slammiversary. You will hear me detail how I think this should play out. I gave you a little tidbit today, but you guys can go and listen to it for yourselves. Comment on that video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. Tell me your ideas on this video of what you think they should do going forward. Do you think TNA should have an invasion? I think that they should. If they're not going to invade WWE as a whole, then they need to invade NXT 1000%. And the next PLE for NXT is NXT Heatwave. That is the next time that they're probably going to end up on Peacock, is right here. And they're going to be in Massachusetts. Sir. Make sure you guys rate, comment, and subscribe. I want to keep y'all updated. Tomorrow is NXT. I will watch, but I will not go live tomorrow. I will wait until Wednesday, and we'll talk and have a nice little time talking about Fatal Influence and all their bullshit and everything going on. Woo, girl. It's about to be a long motherfucking Tuesday, honey. But we going to talk about it, because Blake Monroe is supposed to have her debut match Tuesday, and of course she gave Jordynne Grace a front row invitation to her match, and she's made it very clear that there's nothing nice about it. She wants to show her what she should look like. I don't know, y'all, but y'all make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe, and continue to follow me over here on my channel. I will continue to produce content. I'm going to finish up Becky's book. There's already a few review chapters. I'm going to release the episode that I gave to the subscribers or my members earlier last week. I already put that up, the full review. I'm getting ready to release my Seth Rollins analysis, and you guys let me know what you think on that as well. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for Freestyle Wednesday. Don't forget to support the channel. You can go get merch. Always can go get merch. And you can become a member. And you'll get all the videos that I post early. Love yous. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.